After interviewing thousands of married people, I've come to understand the essence of marriage. Part 1. About marriage. For many men, marriage is a way to solve the problem of being the head of the household. For many women, marriage is an attempt to solve future uncertainties. In other words, if a man is doing well, he's capable, has a good income, and has unlimited prospects, he will generally fear marriage. The essence of his fear is that he doesn't want to settle down, thinking that he might find someone better in the future. On the other hand, women hope that marriage will solve their future concerns, which is why they often look for a man who already has everything now. When a woman tells a man, "I don't see a future with you," it's often not because the man is not trying hard enough, but because he simply doesn't earn money yet. Not seeing the future essentially means not seeing the present. Part 2. There's no guarantee that two people will be happy together. Whether it's love or material wealth, whether it's social status or mutual strength, whether it's character or shared values, none of these guarantees happiness in marriage. Love can ensure happiness for a couple in the first 2 or 3 years, and material wealth can ensure a comfortable life. Social status and mutual strength can protect you from being bullied or degraded. Character and shared values ensure that there will be no serious harm between the couple. But none of these things can guarantee happiness, nor can they guarantee whether you'll avoid divorce. Happiness in life and happiness in marriage are two different things. Marriage is like a business partnership. Both parties need to be clear about the company's vision and mission. Without that, no matter how great the team is or how high the salary or how passionate they are, they won't be able to create a successful business. If your relationship isn't happy, don't marry. If you feel that your partner has a lot of issues, don't expect that you'll be able to change them after marriage. People's mindset is formed early, and it's hard to change someone's nature. Don't think you are their savior, able to transform or save them. Part 3. About marriage life. If you feel that your partner doesn't love you enough, don't think that being nice to them, getting married, or having children will bind them to you. In fact, if your partner doesn't love you enough, it is you who will be trapped by marriage and children. For women, if you're desperate to get married and become a housewife, it shows that something is wrong in your life. Around the age of 28, if a woman is not fulfilled and doesn't have career aspirations, she may fall into confusion and anxiety, easily hoping that marriage will rescue her from her current predicament. But marrying in such circumstances often leads to bitterness. For men, if your girlfriend is picky and constantly demands that you change or that you have a house, car, etc., please leave her immediately. She doesn't love you. Such behavior cannot be called love from any angle. So, how should we understand marriage life? Marriage is like a dog kennel. People who have raised dogs know that some dogs seem very smart. They'll walk into the kennel themselves and lock the door, thinking they're safe. But this kind of safety actually means being trapped. Part 4. Marriage amplifies desires. This is how marriage works. You chose marriage for security. After marriage, you have to give up your freedom for that security. In fact, relying on someone or on marriage itself for security will only make you constantly uneasy and suspicious. Most women don't marry a man, but rather, they marry the idea of marriage. In other words, the man is not as important to them as the institution of marriage is. On the contrary, marriage is not as important to men as the woman is. For women, they choose a man for marriage, and men accept marriage out of necessity, creating a fundamental misunderstanding between the two. Marriage magnifies both desires and flaws. Few people criticize their friends, but almost everyone complains about their spouse. Desire amplification means that once people marry, they want to fully possess their partner. With this desire for possession, nothing will be done right. As for amplifying flaws and weaknesses, arguments in marriage almost always arise from trivial matters. Part 5. Don't try to control your partner. Actually, between people, there are only a few points of intersection. Marriage, however, makes us believe that two lives can be intertwined and shared for a lifetime. This is the root of all marital pain. A bad marriage can drain a man's ambition and passion, and it can wear down a woman's gentleness and patience. If a man becomes lazy and complacent, don't rush to blame him. He might have a domineering wife. If a woman is irritable and sensitive, Don't rush to blame her. She might have a terrible husband. In marriage, never try to control or monitor your partner. A lot of suffering comes from this. When you try to control your partner, you are also being controlled by them. It's like a prison guard and a prisoner. On the surface, the prisoner is being controlled, but the guard, constantly worried the prisoner might escape, is also being controlled by the prisoner. In such a relationship, neither party is free or at ease. Part 6. About betrayal. We often believe that love and a comfortable material life are the keys to a happy marriage. However, the most important thing in marriage is friendship between partners. A marriage can only survive happily if both people can talk to each other and share common goals. If they no longer want to share their joys and sorrows, the marriage begins to decline. We emphasize dependence, sweetness, and closeness in marriage, but actually, maintaining some distance is more important. For people, freedom is the most precious thing. Anyone who tries to restrict your freedom is essentially committing self-destruction. As for betrayal, everyone has the potential for infidelity, just as everyone has the potential to get cancer. We must understand early, even before marriage, that human nature is unpredictable and changeable. Don't overestimate human nature. Don't put all your hopes on one person. Infidelity doesn't only happen because of an unhappy marriage. Many seemingly happy marriages also have infidelity. Part 7. About divorce. Divorce can be considered random harm. No matter how educated, capable, or good in character your partner is, there's no guarantee they won't betray you. So if your partner betrays you, the only thing you can do is endure. Here, endure doesn't mean that you should bear the pain and anger and continue to stay with them. Instead, you need to endure your desires, your love, and your fear of divorce. In other words, you must endure the pain of letting go. As society progresses, divorce will become more common. Divorce teaches us an important lesson. If a person cannot maintain themselves, they will pay a heavy price for it. Divorce doesn't necessarily mean the arrival of new pain. It can mean the end of an old pain. A marriage breaks when the possibility is lost. After the breakup, whether good or bad, you've gained a chance for a fresh start. Divorce doesn't equal failure in marriage. Rather, failure in marriage happens when one person loses vitality and becomes dull and boring, living a life that's hollow and lacking in purpose. Conclusion. In conclusion, whether you are a man or a woman, your most important identity is that of an individual. You live for yourself throughout your life, and you must avoid greed, anger, and ignorance. Greed means hoping others will love you, make you happy, or give you things that aren't yours. It's hoping to continue a marriage where the other person doesn't love you. This is all greed. Anger means resentment and hatred. Don't be angry, because you can always leave someone who doesn't make you happy. A bad marriage can drain a man's ambition and passion. You must avoid greed, anger, and ignorance. If you're angry at someone while also wanting to spend your life with them, you're filled with both greed and anger. Ignorance means being lost, not understanding yourself, and being stuck in confusion. In marriage, ask yourself, who am I? Frequently, if you're always uncertain and anxious, it's likely you're trapped in greed, anger, and ignorance. Living for yourself may sound like self-help advice, but it's the fundamental baseline of being human. Anyone who tramples on this baseline should expect their own dignity to be trampled as well.